Hello, and welcome to HisFlame's Home of Crafts. My name is Jen, and this is my new YouTube channel where I am working on putting together a collection of demonstrations and techniques that you will find useful in your knitting journey. Today we're going to be covering the backwards loop cast on. This can be used to add stitches in the middle of your work. Frequently found in the underarm. It can be used to create loops in shawls or anywhere where you want to add stitches, really. The most common place that I've seen it has been in the underarms of shirts, specifically when you're working top down and you're looking to join in the round at the body. They want to add on stitches underneath your underarms, and they'll say, using a backwards loop cast on X number of stitches. So now I'm going to go over the anatomy of your project, do a silent demonstration of the technique, and then I'll talk you guys through it. Let's get started. So I've got my swatch here. My working end is currently at the start of my project. So you can cast on stitches on either end. And again, I'm still working with a double pointed needle. Just honestly, I'm not going to lie, this is the swatch from my Make One Left tutorial, if anybody has watched that one. Anyway, this will be your project end of your yarn. This will be the working end, so the end that's attached to your ball. And the instructions that you'll find in your pattern will say something along the lines of using a backwards loop cast on X number of stitches. In this case, let's say 5. So I'll do a silent demonstration, talk you through it, and then we'll get going. So that's an example of a backwards loop cast on for 5 stitches at the start of your row. So to talk you through it, you've got your project end and your working end of your yarn, and just taking that in your fingers, flip your hand over so that your working yarn crosses over your project yarn. Put that loop over the end of your needle and pull it tight. You want your working yarn, the loop created by it, to be between your project yarn and your project so that it anchors that loop. Again, turn it over so that your working yarn is over your project yarn, and put that loop over the end of your needle. You can do it using 2 fingers, and same deal, up over the end of your needle. Turn so your working yarn is over your project yarn, and loop it over the end of your needle and pull it tight. 1, 2, 3, 4. Put your working yarn over top and create that loop. Now I'm just going to knit through that, and I'll show you how to cast it on at the end of your work. So now, if I had been working in the round, I would have knit across, say, the front of the garment, and then it would say cast on 5 stitches using a backwards loop cast on, and then join to the back of the work. So same deal as if you're casting them on at the front of your row or at the start of your row, using your working yarn, your project yarn, pinching between your thumb and your forefinger, turn it over and make a loop so that your working yarn is over top of your project yarn, and just put that on to your needle. So make a loop so that your working yarn is over your project yarn, and put it onto your needle. You can just use your left hand and using your pointer finger, run it through and turn it so that your working yarn is over your project yarn. Take your needle and transfer it off your finger so that working yarn stays between your project yarn and your project, or in this case the last stitch that you cast on, and pull it tight. Whoop. So in this case, if it said cast on 5 stitches, there's the last stitch that I knit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you would join on your back panel or turn if you were just making a shape for some reason. But that is the backwards loop cast on. If you enjoyed this video or found it helpful, please hit the like button down below. And if you want to subscribe to my new channel, I will always welcome the support. Like I said, I am new to YouTube, so if you have any other tutorials or techniques, specifically with regards to knitting, that you would like to see, let me know in the comments down below and I will see what I can do. Hope you all have a wonderful day.